Sheffield Girls is located in Broom Hill, close to Sheffield City Centre, the University of Sheffield and the beautiful Peak District National Park. The school occupies an 8-acre site and includes the infant and junior school, senior school and sixth form buildings. Our students have access to exceptional facilities, including our sports hall, courts and pitches, our dedicated libraries, our state-of-the-art STEM teaching rooms and laboratories, and dedicated performance studios, art studios and music rooms. Our innovative curriculum, collaborative learning environment, and the integration of technology from an early age nurtures a love of learning and curiosity, which inspires our pupils to explore, question, and challenge. We're proud to offer a huge variety of co-curricular activities and enrichment courses, from journalism, yoga and robotics, to songwriting, foreign film, and the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Sheffield Girls is a thriving and inclusive community, focused on empowering girls to aspire and achieve, whilst living the school values of positivity, courage, and kindness. We aim for all our girls to be confident, to flourish, and to be ready to take their place and make a difference in an ever-changing world.
Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to our online open event. I'm Mrs. Gunson, and I'm lucky enough to be the head of Sheffield Girls. Before we start, I just want to let you know that we're going to have a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. And so please enter any questions that you might have in the Q&A box, which you should be able to see along the bottom of your screen. During this webinar, you'll hear a little from me, as well as some of my colleagues from our senior leadership team. But more importantly, you'll also hear from some of our current pupils, who will share some of their own experiences with you. And you'll hear from a couple of our current parents. If you're interested in finding out more after this event, please do arrange to visit us on a normal school day, because it really is only by visiting our school that you really see and feel the things that make our school such a special place. I do, however, hope that this evening we can give you a flavour of all that we hold dear here at Sheffield Girls. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that all schools have the same aims in education and in the development of their students. But of course, each school has its own vision and priorities, as well as its own identity, culture, and heartbeat. This evening, we'd like to share with you a brief overview of our aims here at Sheffield Girls and how we go to achieve them. We have 3 aims at Sheffield Girls, and our first is to nurture a love of learning and curiosity in our girls that encourages them to explore, question and challenge. So with this first aim in mind, I'm going to start by handing over to our Deputy Head, Mrs. White, to tell you a little bit about learning at Sheffield Girls.
I'm sure that our academic excellence is one of the reasons you are considering Sheffield Girls, as this is something our school is known for. Each year our school's results place us as one of the top performing schools in the north of England, but the outcomes are not as important as the learning journey and the experience. We have a broad ability range and our student needs are varied, but our teachers are experts who share their passion for their fields of expertise and are innovative in their approach. Learning is fast-paced, interactive, rigorous, challenging and fun, and learning takes place in a supportive environment where mistakes are okay and we instill a can-do attitude so the students aim high. Smaller class sizes and a purposeful classroom environment free from disruptive behaviour allow for more feedback, a personalised approach and providing individual support to help each girl to be the best she can be. We have a broad and balanced curriculum with something for everyone. Super-curricular clubs, competitions and challenges are available which extend and enrich their learning beyond the curriculum. And the positive relationships between the girls and with their teachers always stands out. Our teachers nurture the girls' interests and really get to know them as individuals. That brings us on to our second aim, which is for our girls to be confident, to flourish and be ready to take their place and make a difference in an ever-changing world. We want them to be the change makers of the future. I'd now like to introduce Mrs. Rogers, Assistant Head, who's in charge of our co-curricular provision.
Thank you, Mrs. White. This aim is so important and there is a lot to unpack here. In order to meet this aim, we need to have a forward-thinking curriculum which develops subject knowledge and skills for future success. This is the usual subjects that provide an excellent general education and sound background, but also specific skills for growth industry areas such as coding and sustainability. Character education is equally important, and wider skills are valued so much by employers these days, such as creativity, adaptability, problem solving and negotiation. This is developed through our Girls of Steel character education programme, which embeds these skills both in lesson time and in extracurricular activities. We then need to empower our students to use these skills for good, developing humanity, humility, cultural capital and awareness of the world around them. They do this through service within school and within the community, through delivering assemblies and presentations, through participating in a wide range of activities and taking on leadership roles and positions of responsibility within the school, and also developing their own powerful voices. We also mustn't overlook the sheer in-the-moment happiness and enjoyment that comes from participating in activities that they truly enjoy. Doing this develops relationships with students younger than them, older than them, their peers and of course their teachers. All of these extracurricular opportunities help Sheffield Girls love being at school, love their school and develop memories that they will cherish for the rest of their lives. Through the co-curricular programme, we ensure that our students learn more about themselves, about each other and about life. In the following video, some of our students are going to talk about activities that they have enjoyed outside of lesson time.
I do like a lot of after-school clubs, so I do on a Thursday night netball, which is from year 10 to 13, so when you get older it all gets put together, but I think it's really nice because you're with multiple years and you just play together and it's a lot of fun. On a Wednesday after school we do year 7 netball, so I help and coach them and demonstrate drills. If they're doing like a match, then I'll help umpire them. I think it's really good to help out with the younger years because you learn patience. Sometimes they've not understood everything and it's nice to be able to like teach other people things so that they learn and they'll remember you like in a nice way because you've helped them with something which will probably stay with them. In year 7 you get to go on a GDST trip and you like play a day of netball and it's just like a really fun atmosphere. It's really nice to see where you stand in the GDST with netball, but also to have a good time with your friends. Spending a night with your team I think was like a really good like time for me in year 7, which I really enjoyed.
Always loved like drama and music and everything, and so when I heard there was a musical I was like, oh my goodness, there's a musical, and so I was super excited to join it. So I did Teachers and Killed with Mrs. Heary, and when I heard it was a musical this year I was really excited to get involved. I had lots of different roles, so I played the guard, I was a weasel, I was a rabbit footman, an otter, and I also did some choreography for the show as well. It was really, really fun. Like I got to get to know a lot of people that I hadn't met beforehand, especially the younger years. So it was really good to see like how talented they all were.
I'm so excited for the next musical or play, whichever it is, because it's a really nice community and atmosphere that there is in the school musicals and plays. So I'm super excited for that.
This year it was just really, really fun, and it was one of the highlights of this year, definitely.
been a Course Be Clever mentor for a while now, and it's been an amazing opportunity. We get to work with Year 5s from different schools around the city, and one opportunity that we had was going to the University of Sheffield with them to have an Aspirations Day. And we got to encourage them to aspire to go to university and to open their minds to all the possibilities of jobs that they could get. I felt so honoured to be a part of something so amazing, because it was so beautiful to see their little minds whizzing around thinking about all the things they were going to do in the future. I felt really happy to be a part of it. I think I acquired a few skills like patience and compassion, because I feel like with young children it's harder to understand them, but then as they started to ease up and warm up to us because we're their mentors, like the little friends, it was really nice to see it, and I just felt a lot of compassion for them. I feel like I've known them for a while now, so it was really nice.
I'd now like to introduce Mrs. Andre Reid, our Head of Pastoral Care.
Thank you, Mrs. Rogers. I'm Mrs. Reid, Head of Pastoral Care at the school, and I'm going to tell you about our third aim, which is for our students to be proud. Proud of themselves, proud of each other, proud to be forged at Sheffield Girls. We aim to nurture a strong sense of belonging and security and the self-belief in each girl. This relies on the strength of our community. Our community is much like a family where everyone looks out for each other, and our code of behaviour is one of mutual respect. We are always very proud when visitors to our school comment on the atmosphere. We often receive comments on how friendly, warm and supportive it is. Whether your daughter joins us in Year 7 or in other years, we have excellent transition support in place to make the settling in process as easy as possible. Your daughter will soon make new friends, and Sheffield Girls will quickly feel like a home away from home. Each student needs to be able to be themselves, to feel supported and valued as individuals. To achieve this, we have an excellent pastoral care team with expert teams of practitioners, heads of year, school nurse and a school counsellor. We are proactive in our approach, educating the girls on important issues through our rich PSHE provision and visiting speakers. We provide the additional support and guidance needed to help the girls navigate difficulties when they arrive, whether that be friendships, physical health or mental health issues, or even problems outside of school. Older girls are excellent role models for those in younger years, and they also play a key part in supporting them. And more importantly, we provide a positive and encouraging environment where we celebrate success. We have 3 core values in school that we prize above any other achievements, and they underpin everything we do: positivity, kindness and courage. I'm now going to let Maya and Lizzie tell you a little bit about how they are enjoying life in the senior school at Sheffield Girls.
Hello, my name's Lizzie and I'm in Year 7.
Hi, my name's Myra and I'm also in Year 7. It was really exciting because I've seen a lot of good things about the school, and I was really excited to meet loads of different people because there's loads of different girls that you can be friends with. I was really excited to see how it was different to primary school.
For me, it was a bit of a move up, a bigger move up from Year 6 since I've been here for a while, so it felt like it was a bit normal, but it also felt a bit scarier since there were so many buildings and so many new people. I just felt like I would just get lost multiple times.
In the beginning, I didn't know many people. I only knew one person, so I've been friends with her, but then I got introduced to a lot more people, and it was really nice to know and get to know more people. And as you go on, you're more confident with your friends. You don't have to just be the person that everyone wants you to be. You can be yourself, and I really find that comfortable.
Well, I've kind of kept my friend group, but I've also expanded it a lot more than I thought. I've made a lot of new friends, and I feel like my friend group has expanded a lot.
My favourite subjects are probably history, art and maths. The way they teach is really simple, but yet it's you're learning. I learnt loads more new things that I never knew before in Year 6. I learnt loads more. And I really like the way they're teaching it.
I also like art and maths, but I also quite like PE, because for me PE is sort of in my comfort zone, as I've always just loved exercise and all different sports. For maths, I've just always loved it. It's always been my favourite subject.
I do like loads of sports clubs, like I do netball and gymnastics, sometimes basketball, badminton club. So mostly like only sports, but like lunchtime clubs, sometimes I go to knitting club, which is like really nice and relaxing. So like nearly every day there's a club that you can go to, and even if you like a topic, you can even ask to make your own club if you've got enough people.
I go to gymnastics club. It's just always encouraged me, and the people there are just so friendly. I also do hockey club. I also do a couple of lunchtime clubs, anime club. I do sometimes go to the library. There's a wide variety of clubs, and there's definitely a club for everyone.
We've both been on a year 7 trip to bushcraft, and it was really nice because like you go like really early in the beginning of the year, and you get to know a lot more people there, which is a really nice way to like start off the year and like learn about the environment and like spending time with friends, and you get to sleep in a tent with your friends. It's really fun. You get to go on quite a lot of like sports trips as well. Like I've been on netball matches, there's trampolining competitions. We also had movement evening, which was really nice.
Yeah, bushcraft was very fun. It's such a nice experience to be out in the wild. I've also been on a hockey match a couple of times. Movement evening, it's a wide variety of skills. You can do so many things like cheerleading and tap dancing and dancing.
My favourite teacher is my history teacher because generally the way that he teaches, like he makes it fun and not like you have to do this and then this. Like it's not just like one thing that you have to do. You can like expand around that, and I really like the way that he teaches. I also like my maths teacher a lot because like she really like understands if you're a bit like struggling with something. She doesn't force you to be like you have to do this in this amount of time. You can kind of just work at your level, which I find really nice.
I can't really choose one favourite teacher, but I'm with Myro on this one. Maths and history. Our history teacher, he's just so fun and energetic. He adapts well to what like we think, and he's just so funny. And my maths teacher, he is really nice, and he also pushes us past our limits and teaches us something new every day, and there's always something that just makes us laugh every single time.
I've always wanted to go to this school, so I definitely think if you're thinking to join, it's like a great experience, and it's definitely like different to your junior school or primary school, but definitely in a good way. Like you might be nervous to first joining, but then after you kind of like get to know where things are, get to know people, it's just like every day you come to school and you know what you're doing, and you're not like nervous like what's going to happen here. And yeah, I think if you're thinking of joining, it's a really great idea because it's just like it's full of nice people and you learn something new every day.
I've been here for a very long time, so if I would say something to someone new, I'd just say everyone here is so supportive. Everyone here, you can just be yourself here. You don't have to worry about anything because the people here are so nice. The teachers, the helpers, and especially the students, they're always just so supportive. Even in the older years, they're just so relaxed. They're always welcoming new people and new ideas. So it's just so relaxing, and there's definitely somewhere or something that you can just do just to be yourself. It's definitely a really nice experience.
Brilliant. Thank you so much to Myra and Lizzie. It's lovely to hear the things that they've really enjoyed, and really nice to hear them mentioning bushcraft. We've literally just been booking our bushcraft residential for this autumn term, and I was talking about it with Head of Year 7, Mrs. Agar, today. So for some of you watching, that could be you sleeping out in your tent with your friends this autumn. Now, some of you may be considering our school for your daughter because we're an outstanding school that just happens to be girls only. But I really hope that many of you are choosing us because we are girls only. We firmly believe that girls thrive when educated in an environment that's designed just for girls during their formative years. Not having the distraction of boys means that girls are able to develop in confidence and to develop their own personalities and interests in an environment where gender simply isn't an issue, where they aren't worrying about what boys might think or competing with them for the teacher's attention. Here at Sheffield Girls, we're experts in the education of girls. We know how girls learn best, and we can tailor our offer to help them develop academically, socially, and personally. Some of you may be looking for your daughter to join in Year 7, but others may be looking to join different year groups. And so with that in mind, you're now going to hear briefly from Zoe and Miranda, who joined the school in Years 8 and 10.
I'm Miranda Johnson. I joined the school at the end of the last school year and I'm in Year 10.
My name is Zoe Birch. I'm in Year 8 and I joined the school just after the Easter holidays when I was in Year 7.
I was a bit nervous, but I already knew a couple of people and it was really easy to settle in.
And I was really nervous because I was worried that I wouldn't make any new friends and everyone would exclude me, but that did not happen at all. I knew one girl who I was put in the same form as. I go on the same bus as her, so that was really useful because so she could show me where the bus dropped people off, picked people up, and also show me around the school and where all the different classrooms were. And she was really helpful, but everyone else was really nice and kind, and they made me feel like I really belonged, even though I'd only been there for one day.
They were really nice and I settled in very well, and they all just made it as seamless as possible.
Yeah, everyone was really nice. All the students made me feel really included, and the staff helped me because obviously I hadn't been doing the stuff that they've been doing, and quite a lot of them gave me copies of other people's books so I could look back and see things, and that was really useful.
I found it really easy just because I basically had a ready-made friendship group that I could just join, and I made lots of friends doing extracurricular activities as well.
Yeah, I was really worried about making friends, but all of the form were friends together, although people did have their groups inside. So yeah, I was included into that.
I think just the general community of the school, it's one big family and everybody's friends with each other. It's great.
Yeah, I agree.
So I do lots of the trampolining and I really enjoy that because you can meet so many of the other people.
I do lots of clubs during lunchtime and a lot of music clubs in the morning. So during lunchtime I do musical theatre club and the new classics club and the creative writing club, and then in the mornings I do swing band because I play the clarinet, and choir because I like singing, and then the Year 8 and 9 ensemble.
The teaching's much better because there's the smaller class sizes and the teachers just they know what they're doing.
I find the teaching really good. I feel I get more attention than I did at previous schools, whether that's if I need more help or I'm good at something and need to move on. I think that that's really good, and they've got a really good idea of my abilities, and they can challenge me a bit more and then help me where I don't know things.
I really like economics because it's such a broad subject and you can learn about the entire world.
I have no idea. I like all the subjects because I find them really interesting in different ways, and I like to use different skills.
I didn't have the opportunity to do quite as much gymnastics and trampolining as I did at my old school, so it's been far more here.
I've started Latin in Year 8, and that's been really fun because my mum did the same Latin course as me, so we've been able to talk about it, and I wouldn't have got to do that if I'd have stayed at my old school.
I just think it's one big community. Everyone just knows each other and it's so friendly, and you walk in the corridors and smile at everyone.
Yeah, I feel kindness probably, because everyone's really nice and kind to each other.
I just like having a big friend group because you can do all sorts of things with them and meet up with them and that sort of thing. It's great to have a big community. We've got lots of similar interests, but it's we've all got different interests as well, and we're all very individual people.
I really like the school community because everyone's really nice and kind and we'll all like help each other. And like at my old school it was very much about you and you wanted to be like the best and like you wanted to be a popular one. It was never really about like everyone together, but I think at this school there's definitely a big element of like we all work together.
I would say just don't be nervous because you'll be fine and there's always going to be someone who you can be friends with.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to say don't like be nervous, but don't be nervous because everyone's really nice and don't worry about the work at all because they'll help you catch up. And I came just before the summer assessments, so that was like a big worry to me, but all the teachers are like, that's completely fine, like we know you've not like learned all these things, so we won't like, we'll take that into consideration and we won't like mark you against everyone else.
Thank you so much, girls. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to pass over and you're going to hear from a couple of our parents. And straight after that, we'll go into our question and answer session. I'll be joined by a few of our pupils, and so please do add any questions that you might have for myself or for some of our girls about their experiences into the Q&A box. I've noticed a couple of questions have just come through, and we also received some questions earlier today that we'll be answering. So this might be a good opportunity, if you do want to ask anything, just to type those in so that they're ready for us after this next video. So we'd now like to share a short video with you in which you're going to hear from some parents of students here at Sheffield Girls.
What attracted us to consider Sheffield Girls? There were a number of factors, I think. One is you can't walk away from the reputation of the school. And then also the fact that the school is not massive. It's my personal belief that every member of staff should know every child in the school, and that makes for a good learning community.
The history of the school. I knew the education would be fantastic, that's all we were bothered about. We knew we'd get the best. Absolutely fantastic what they've done, especially from A-level options, GCSE options, university options, been absolutely fantastic.
I think I have seen my daughter benefit from at times quite brilliant teaching, and you can tell that because how enthusiastic she is about it, how she then embraces the subject, how she then becomes confident in it, how the teachers are available, that if she is slightly less confident, they help her over that next barrier. I'm very happy to say I think this school is disproportionately blessed with people who can go like that. It's brilliant.
I just think it's better in general. I can't really say anything else. I do honestly think it's a better education with an all-girls school. They take care of you. If there's any problems, they're there for you. If you've got a problem, they're there for you. And really, the staff, I can't fault them. I knew she'd be in safe hands.
There has not been a single day that she hasn't come home with a smile on her face. And that for me is a credit to the school, and is a credit to her in the way that she's embraced the school.
Me and my wife wrote this last night. Unfortunately, my wife can't be here for work commitments at hospital, so here's what we wrote. My daughter has gained so much confidence and ability to communicate on all levels. She started as a very shy child, coming here from a different primary school. She didn't know anyone, but she was made to feel comfortable immediately and settled in very quickly. She has made some lovely friends in a positive environment and thoroughly enjoyed her time here. She has always been encouraged to reach her full potential and has felt supported right through senior school to choosing her A-levels and university options. She has been given a range of opportunities from sporting events to school excursions. Overall, my daughter has excelled in all subjects over the years, and we are very happy with the decision to send her here. We would highly recommend Sheffield Girls as a parent's view.
Hello again. Right, so I think we're now going to go into our question and answer session. So I'm going to introduce our panellists, and hopefully each of them will give us a wave when they pop up on the screen. So Mrs. Reid is going to be reading out some of your questions and addressing them to myself or some of the pupils that we're joined with. So we've got Olivia from Year 12. You want to give us a wave, Olivia? We've also got Isla. Give us a wave, Isla. And Maya. And both Isla and Maya are in Year 8. Okay.
Great. Okay, we've got quite a few questions. So the first one, and I think this can be from Maya, it says, how do you new Year 7 pupils make friends? So can you remember?
So I think our student panel are still muted. So you just need to, there we go, perfect. Go on, Maya.
So making friends at Sheffield Girls, everyone is very nice and they include everyone. But I think a really good way that the teachers help you make friends is you don't get to choose who to sit next to you, so you have a seating plan, which I suppose they'll probably work it out so that you are sat with someone that maybe you've not met before, and people who are from this school and then people who are from another school, they become like good friends, and everyone's really inclusive. Like there's no one going to be sat alone.
Thank you. This one's from Mrs. Gunson. I think, are there any key admission dates to be aware of?
Thank you, Mrs. Reid. Any key admission dates? So if students are joining us in Year 7, we strongly recommend getting in your application early in Year 6. The deadline for submitting applications is really at the end of the autumn term, so that then we can invite you in for the entrance test, which takes place in early January. If parents want to apply for bursaries or scholarships, though, those applications really need to come into us by November. Now, entry into Year 7 is the only one where there are sort of specific dates and all students come in for the entrance test on one day. If you want your daughter to join us in other year groups, applications can really come in at any time. So Miss Froggatt, our registrar, receives lots of phone calls and emails every single day. And we have students who come in for a look around with their family and can also come in and have a taster day or even do an entrance test one-to-one in the library. So even though there are some regular dates, we can offer a really bespoke and personalised service to suit individuals' preferred dates. Now, Mrs. Reid, I think when Maya was speaking, we could hear her, but the screen froze. So I think they've left us rejoining to bring it connection.
I'll wait until we come back in.
Perhaps I could jumping ahead to another question that I'm answering.
Let's see. So another one for you. Yeah. How early can pupils arrive in the morning, and is there after-school care available?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So students can come into the senior school from as early as 7:30 in the morning. Our canteen is actually open from 7 a.m. And so if families want to arrive really early in the morning, students can go to the canteen, and families can also go in the canteen with them. Some of our parents enjoy having a breakfast or a coffee with their daughter before leaving. But drop off and coming into the school building is from 7:30. All students need to be here by 8:30, which is when they should be in their form rooms. And whilst our lessons finish at 3:30 and students can leave at 3:30, we actually have facility for them to be on site until 5:30. So there are some sports clubs after school, but we also have homework club after school, meaning students can stay in school, in the library or homework club and get some of their work done and out of the way before going home until as late as 5:30. And just worth noting that we don't have any additional fees for before school or after school care.
That's great. That was another one of the questions, actually.
Okay, that's another one.
That's good. And we've got a question here for Olivia. It says, what are the main differences between the senior schools and in the sixth form?
Okay, so I think that while the general atmosphere of the school stays the same, I'd say one of the biggest things about the sixth form experience is the smaller class sizes. So I went from maybe having class sizes of around maybe 15, 16, 17 to now maybe my biggest class size is maybe 8 or 9. And some of my subjects, there might be, so I have one class with 2 people, one class with 5 people. And I think that's really amazing because you really get that tailored kind of learning experience, you get that closer relationship with the teacher. It means, and I think that's really vital during your A-level kind of period where you really need that focused kind of attention on each and every pupil. And it means that the teachers are amazing in kind of making sure each student's needs are kind of seen to. And so you really get that like great feedback, which maybe you wouldn't have been able to get in a large class size. But like I said, the experience is still absolutely amazing. Everyone, even though there's smaller class sizes, you can still interact with people outside of class, in the common rooms, at break times, just generally walking around the school, in extracurricular activities. You definitely still get to meet and interact with lots of people. And then also your class sizes are a lot smaller, meaning you also form better relationships with the teachers as well.
Great, thank you, Olivia. That's wonderful. I've got another one here for Mrs. Gunson. How do we support SEND students in the school?
Again, another good question. We have a really superb learning support team. Miss Holmes and Mrs. Bates, who are our two SENCOs, are supported by some other learning assistants and teachers with a specialism in SEND. We do have some students with an EHCP, but we have a large number of students with neurodiversities and special educational needs. And each of those students has their own pupil profile, which all teaching staff and pastoral and support staff are fully aware of, meaning that teaching is personalised. The fact that we've got quite small class sizes does mean that teaching can be adaptive, there can be differentiation in the classroom, meaning that all students can be appropriately supported, stretched and challenged, and any individual needs can be catered for. We also have some students who do get some additional one-to-one or small group sessions outside the classroom, and some students might have a slightly adapted timetable. So perhaps instead of studying a second modern foreign language, they might have communication studies to develop their use of language in a way that will be an advantage to them across all of their subjects. So quite a personalised approach.
Thank you very much. Great. Okay, I'll actually start. Isla, we'll go to you for this one. It says here, and don't worry if you can't answer it, we can chip in. Are there opportunities for residential trips for every year group? So do you want to talk about perhaps your experience?
So in year 7, I think it's like near the beginning of joining, you go on bushcraft, and that's for 2 days or 1 night. And it's like you get to bond with different people. So obviously you're putting forms, but you get to meet people from different forms. And also you get an opportunity to go on like language trips, like Spanish, like German and French trips. In year 8, I think we're going on a water sports trip in the summer. And you get to like go on like Latin trips, like geology trips. So yeah.
Great, thank you very much. So the next one here, do you get to work with pupils of lots of different year groups? So Maya, do you want to give that a go?
Yeah, so I think you do get to work with some other year groups, especially if you go to clubs. You cooperate with them because you might play against different years in sports, because in the summer, for example, there's an athletics club which is open from, I think, something like year 4 all the way up to year 10, and you can help the younger girls to really do a sport like how you would do it in senior school. So you do get to mix with other year groups, clubs.
A question possibly for Mrs. Gunson. Yes, I think so. What is the entrance exam like, and what skills are tested?
Yeah, so we just have 2 test papers for our entrance test: a maths paper and an English paper. And so we try and make it as accessible and straightforward as possible. We want all students to feel that the paper is familiar and feels like something they'd be used to doing in their current school. We don't want them to be completely surprised by a sort of paper that they're not familiar with. So, for example, the English paper would have a comprehension with a long passage to read and some questions to help to see how students derive meaning from text, and then an extended piece of writing so they can showcase their own grammar, use of descriptive language, sentence structure, and writing for a certain purpose. And then the maths paper, again, should be key stage appropriate. And so if they're looking at doing the entrance test into year 7, the topics that are contained on the paper would very much align with what's covered in the Key Stage 2 curriculum and the sorts of things that any students in year 6 would be working on in preparation for their SATs in their current school.
Thank you very much. I think this one's just come in from someone who perhaps joined us a bit later, but it's good to perhaps answer this again. How regularly, are there opportunities for us to visit the school before we complete an application form? I know you mentioned that at the beginning, Mrs. Gunson, but it might be good to recap on that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you are on here this evening and we've given you lots of information, we always recommend coming in for a visit on a normal school day. Louise, our registrar, I'll mention her again at the end, is the best person to contact by email or giving her a call, and you can arrange to come in as a family and have a look around on a normal day, pop into some lessons, see some of the facilities, and most importantly, just get a feel for what it feels like in our school community here at Sheffield Girls.
Great, thank you. Sorry, Mrs. Gunson, another one for you. When will the transition days take place?
Early July. We do actually have that date in our school calendar, but I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what date it is. But everybody who signed up for this, and certainly people who are already in our system in terms of inquiries or admissions, will receive details about transition events. We actually have an event in June that we'll be inviting families to, where everybody comes along. It's a really nice, fun quiz night for students who are joining us in September and their families to see how much you already do know about the school, find out a few new things, hear a few tips from some of our current year 7s, have a few nibbles as well, and meet some new people who are teachers, parents, current students, and other people like yourselves who might be joining in September. And then the girls come and join us in early July and spend a day in school with their new form teacher, with their head of year, and with the other girls who will be in their form in September. So I'm loath to give you the date in case I give the wrong date, but it will come out in follow-up communication.
Thank you so much. I've got one now for the students again, and staff can answer this also, because it says here, are the dinners as nice as I've heard they are? Isla, do you want to give that a go?
Yeah, the school dinners are really nice. So in year 7, you have to have school dinners for the whole year. And there's like different options every day. So you have one option for pasta, and that stays the same. And then you have an option for like mac and cheese or carbonara, and it's really nice.
Great, thank you very much. Would the others agree with that, Olivia? Is that the same your experience?
Yes, I quite like the Christmas dinner. Every Christmas there's a Christmas dinner. That's one of my favourites.
Yeah, as do the staff. Thank you very much. A question here about uniforms. When do we order uniforms and how?
If your daughter is signed up to join us in September, it's a little bit of a balancing act. We know that many 11-year-olds can suddenly shoot up a centimetre or two over the summer holidays. So we recommend leaving it until quite close to September. The uniform suppliers that we use, School Blazer, are very good at maintaining their stock levels, and the delivery is very, very fast. We have had on occasion certain items that have been out of stock for a couple of weeks, but on those occasions it's absolutely fine if students are not wearing their full uniform for the first couple of weeks of term. And so we would recommend don't get it too early, because you don't want your daughter to have grown out of it before the start of term. The school uniform can be ordered online via School Blazer. If you go onto our school website and look under uniform, there are full details, including a link to the School Blazer site. But as a first-time user, you need to set up your credentials and your account details. But as soon as you've done that, you can go on and start to browse and have a look at those things. If there are some things that are not too size specific, you could start to get some of those items, but I wouldn't be too fearful about leaving it until into July or August to do so.
So we've had lots and lots of questions tonight. Sadly, we don't have time to answer them all, but we will email follow-up questions to any questions that we haven't got to. So thank you very much. Thank you, girls.
Okay, is that the end of our questions? Wow, gosh, time flies, doesn't it? So thank you again for joining us this evening. I'm sure that all of you watching this webinar want your daughter to leave school as a confident young woman who knows her own mind and is equipped with the skills to take her place in the world, because this is what we strive to achieve at Sheffield Girls. I know that we are joined by some families whose daughters are already registered to start with us in September, and it's really super that you've made time to watch. We look forward to seeing you very soon, and I hope this might have answered some questions that you have. If you haven't yet applied to Sheffield Girls and you would like your daughter to join us for the next stage of her education, which I really hope you do, then please do get in touch with us via our registrar, Louise Foggart, or by completing the application form or inquiry form on our school website. And we really look forward to hearing from you. So that's everything from us. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you again for joining us, and goodbye from all of us here at Sheffield Girls.